Hi, so let's talk. We're going to talk about, my channel, it's called Gardening with a Budget. So we're going to talk about budgeting and saving money. That's what we're going to talk about. Different ways we can save money. And if you're looking to buy land and if you're trying to go towards that direction where you buy land and you want to live off the land, you first have to have a skill set. And it's true. You can buy the land, but then you'll be behind the learning curve, meaning that you'll have to learn how to grow food on the land or do certain things on the land that you can do right now before you get the land. And I mean by you can garden. It doesn't take nothing to start a garden. Even if you're in an apartment, a condo, you can start a garden. You can start it on your balcony, in your windowsill. You can start it. A garden can be started anywhere. You have a glass door, you have a bright window, you could start the garden on that windowsill, on the windowsill. You can grow herbs, right? That is teaching you how to keep plants alive and what to expect when you start gardening. If you do it on your balcony, you have more more skill set, because then you have to deal with bugs and little animals and stuff like that, and you'll know how to deter them. You'll know how to protect your plants. Certain things you learn in your area, whether you are up north or down south. It's never too late to start gardening. You could start right now. All you have to do is Google your first frost date. Once you Google your first frost date, you'll know how many months you have before the first frost date to plant certain things so it can bloom before that frost date, right? So it's never too late. And even if you're up north, I live down south, but I have hydroponics inside. I have a special corner where I have my hydroponics set up. I even have one out here on the balcony. But what I do is I plant my leafy greens in there because I find that I don't have insects or bugs attacking my lettuce, because they love to attack lettuce. They don't attack my lettuce, my cabbage, and stuff like that. I grow them inside. My kale, I grow it inside, and then I can cut and come again with the kale, the spinach, with the lettuce, right? So, and a lot of times when I grow them hydroponically, when they get too big, I will put them in dirt and bring them out in the sun, gradually from the shade to direct sunlight, or let it stay in the shade, whatever the plant prefers. So I say that to say, I wanted to start off the video with a budget. A lot of people, they don't do a budget. They just figure out what their bills are, take it out of the money that they get paid, and by the time they look around, they think they have money for this and they think they have money for that, but by the time they look around, the money is gone. When you write it on paper, and this I can tell you, when you write that what you have coming in on paper and deduct what has to go out of it, you can see where all your money is going. You can then determine whether my stop at Starbucks every day for a latte, or my stop at McDonald's every day for an sausage, egg, and cheese sandwich that is costing me about $25 a week either way, I can cut that by making it at home myself. If I make my latte at home, and I'm sure there are videos that can, that imitate Starbucks coffee, lattes, whatever, and you can buy Starbucks coffee in the grocery store. They do sell it. Those are ways of saving money. And that way that money can go to save for whatever it is that you want, whether it's land or something else, right? I'm going to give you an example. I spend $25 a week on my kombucha. It's a probiotic for your stomach. It's what the kombucha is for those that don't know. Kombucha is tea fermented. It tastes like soda, and it's $4.42 in the grocery store for one bottle. 5 bottles is $25. Needless to say, I buy them when it's buy one, get one free. But still, if I was to make it, it would cost me $1 to $1.50 a bottle, which is $5 for the week. And I still get my bottle every day of kombucha. So I say that to say, the more ready-made things you buy, the more money you're going to spend. So if you look at the stuff you like to eat and plan to make it yourself, even if you don't know how to make it, you can go on YouTube University. They will always have a way of making something that you want. Tastes exactly like you want. And the thing is, while you're making it, guess what? You know the ingredients in it. No preservatives, all natural ingredients, healthy for you, right? But if you look at the back of some of these labels, forget it. You can't even pronounce some of the names of the things that are on the label, right? So I say that to say, if you want a homestead and you want to buy land, but even if you just want to save money, you have 2 days off usually. One of those days off you could be meal prepping what you need for the week to take every morning for breakfast, right? Whether it's coffee, whether it's a little sandwich, whatever it is, you can meal prep that, put it in the fridge, take one every day, right? Also, if you make things, if you stop buying ready-made things and make it from scratch, you'll find that you'll spend less on groceries, and you'll just spend less because you're paying for convenience. That's what you're paying for. And if you need to save money, stop paying for convenience and make it yourself. If you want a homestead, start learning a skill set. Start learning that when you buy the land, you'll know how to cultivate it by growing your own fruits and vegetables. Start growing them now. You grow them on a balcony. When you're ready to move, they're in pots. You take them with you, and then you can plant them in the dirt or keep them in pots. It's up to you. Learn how to prune your plants, prune your trees, up the top and the bottom, so as above, the same as below. And I say that because a lot of people, they prune the top of the trees and they forget to prune the bottom. And when you pull a tree that's been into a pot a long time, you're going to find a couple of things. It's either all roots and no dirt, and it's being smothered. I pulled out a tree that has room in there, but I was shocked because the top, when you looked at it in the pot, the dirt looked like it was untouched, but when you pulled the tree out, there was no dirt under that thin layer of dirt in the pot. And the tree was like, I need nutrients, I need food. So then I ended up pruning the bottom part of the tree and the top part of the tree and filling back the pot with dirt so that the tree can survive. You have to fill so above as below. So that means whenever you prune just before spring, and you prune the top of the tree and below the tree. But if you learn these things now, you won't have to worry about it when you buy that land, if you want to buy land, or you just want a house or whatever it is you want, if you're in an apartment, or if you're in your own house, and you have your little garden outside, you can go shopping in your little garden instead of going shopping in the grocery store. Grow your own cucumbers, carrots, tomatoes. Have a section, turn the soil. Make sure that you grow beans so that you can put nitrogen back into the soil. There's many ways of putting nitrogen back in the soil, but that is one way, by just growing beans in that section. Mix the soil up, add nutrients to the soil, right? Don't forget to give fertilizers to your plants so that your plants can have, can grow, have the nutrients it needs to grow. And if you show an interest in cultivating the land and growing your own stuff in pots, pretty soon the money will come. You're saving money in many different ways by not going to and also with the parasite that is now in the stores on vegetables. You grow your own vegetables, you don't have to worry about a parasite because you know exactly how your vegetables were grown, picked, and cleaned, right? You know that you didn't put a lot of no pesticides on it. You know that it's organic. You know that it's good for you, right? Also, like I said, my people up north, I would put a section in my house for winter, and I would grow my vegetables in that section hydroponically. Because all you need is a couple of grow lights, and when I'm looking at the grow lights, they're usually 28 watts for the whole section of grow lights for your tower or for your desktop hydroponic. 28 watts is less than a 60-watt light bulb. So therefore, things have gotten so better, cost efficient. You can grow your own vegetables not using a lot of electricity, right? And if it's winter, you grow your vegetables inside, have no problem. If you're ready to grow them outside later, you can, or you could just continue growing them in your hydroponic setup, right? So there's many ways to grow food and save money. But budgeting is the key, and stop buying convenience. Convenience is costing you. Once you learn that, you can put money back into your pocket. Like I said, when you go into the grocery store, you look for a pack of cookies. You can make that pack of cookies from scratch. You look for ketchup. You can make tomato paste. I was looking at tomato paste, and I think it's like $1 something, while ketchup is 5 something. And you can make your own ketchup with tomato paste or tomatoes, a can of tomatoes, which is a lot cheaper because you can get a can of tomatoes for under $1. When you buy the ketchup, it's 5 something. You can make your own. There's a lot of things that you can make that is a lot cheaper than going ahead and buy it ready-made. Yes, it's convenient, but a lot of the times the things that are convenient are very easy to make. They take a minute or two. You just have to, learn the skill, take the time to go ahead. And if you are unsure of how to make it, you have a university right in front of you. YouTube University will tell you everything you need to know. A lot of times someone has done a video on something, and the thing is, when you make your own ketchup or make your own milk, because I make almond milk. I make my own almond milk. It has no preservatives in it. I know it would last me about 3 days, but I make enough, to last me 3 days, and after that I'll make another set. I have a little machine that I put the nuts in, and make my nut milk, and it's really good, and I can change it up and do, a lot of things with it. I don't have to just make almond. I can make oats. I can make soy. I can make cashew. I can make different types of milk, right? So I'm just telling you, it's cheaper and better for you to go ahead and do things yourself rather than buying it ready-made. You will save a lot of money. It'll be very, very healthy for you. And having your own garden, you can collect your seeds. You can sell your seeds if you have unusual plants that nobody has or not much people have. You can, will always have seeds. You can also promulgate your plants. So if you let's say you have one tomato plant. You can make that one tomato plant into 5 tomato plants. You just have to know how to promulgate. These are things, skill sets that you need to learn if you want to continue in gardening and if you want to go ahead and cultivate land, right? You'll learn how to, okay, so I have one tomato, I'm going to make it into 5, next, make it into 10, whatever. You could do that. There's different ways you can promulgate almost anything, double it up. If you have one of something and you're growing it, your best bet is to try to promulgate it. So if something happens to one, you have a backup, right? You could do 2 or 3 when you get your own land or backyard or whatever. You can add more. From that same plant. A lot of times when people go ahead and prune their plants, that's the time they take the cut-ins and use it to promulgate to make more, right? Or you don't even have to wait till you prune it. You can cut a piece off of it and put it in water to promulgate it. Or if you're doing a tree, you can do the chili method, I think it is, or the hot dog method. I'm not sure of that. I have to learn that method where you cut off a piece of, you have like a branch from a tree, a small branch, and then you cut off the bark from another tree and you attach it with dirt and you put a plastic bag around it, foil and plastic bag, and you let it sit till, as long as the soil is moist, it will start to grow roots. Once it grows roots, I think it takes about 4 weeks. And once it grows roots, you can take it off and then you can plant it and you have another tree, right? There's so many ways to duplicate plants that you could do. So I say that to say you could save money on a lot of things. You could start a garden with just the grocery scraps. You take the tomato, squeeze out the seeds, you eat the rest of the tomato, take out some of the seeds, you grow the seeds, dry them out, grow them, right? You know that green peppers or bell peppers have a lot of seeds in it. Buy the peppers you want, cut the seeds out, grow them. There's so many ways. And if, like I said, if you can't grow them now, you can put them away and grow them later. It's always good to have seeds, whether you purchase them or whether you buy them from the grocery store and it's eaten. Because a lot of times I will buy something from the grocery store and I will take the seeds out, put them in a bag, label them, and put them away. Even though I know I don't want to grow it yet, but I have the option of when I'm ready to grow that I have those seeds. Whether it's tomatoes, whether it's cucumbers, whether it's whatever has seeds in it, you can take the seeds out. Now, as for lettuce, if you want to grow lettuce, you can, and you bought a lettuce that you like from the store, you can cut the base, cut the leaves off, eat the leaves, and the base, you could use that, put it in water, and you'll see it start sprouting up it'll start growing more leaves on that base. And you could literally cut and come again on that base, right? I had one on my hydroponic that I was cut again until it grew, till I thought I had enough, and I let it go to seed. And now I have tons of seeds from it, so when I'm ready to grow it again, I can do that. So I just came to tell you a few ways of saving money, right? Buy in bulk, that's another way of saving money. Costco's, BJ's, Sam's Club. Those are places that when you buy bulk, you save money, right? So take another look at your habits and what's going on with, your budget. And, if you budget well, you'll able to save a lot of money. Do you ever wonder why someone making $20,000 and someone making $90,000, while the $20,000 person that's making $20,000 a year is able to save a lot of money, while the one that's making $90,000 can't save nothing. It's because they're living above their means, number one. Number two, they're not budgeting to cut down where their wasteful spending is, because we all have wasteful spending, but sometimes it gets out of hand, right? Going out, partying too much, drinking, whatever, buying. Some people have a shopping phobia. Some people have a gambling phobia, right? I say that to say that if you budget your money, you will be able to save. So take another look at your budget. Even though you know how much you're making and you kind of have an idea of where the money is going, but if you sit down and look at it and you see and you put in these little things that you do in the morning before you go to work, you might love to, grab a coffee at Starbucks, but just think about it. Buy the coffee at the grocery store and make your own Starbucks coffee. It'll be a lot cheaper than grabbing one every day, right? You can also go to Dollar Tree. They have the disposable cups with the tops, or you can buy ones that aren't disposable and use those on a daily basis. There's so many ways to save money. I hope I've opened your ideas a little bit so that you can, go back and check and see what's going on, where you can save money at, right? And what you can do to save money. Like I said, we pay for convenience. And if we would just take the time and, do some of the stuff ourselves, we'll be a lot better off. So thank you for joining me and have a wonderful day. Thank you.